You can phone it in.
I like that.
Go phone.
Go phone. Ooh. Goat phone.
What?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Getting on a microphone.
Kentuckiana Backyard Farms.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Wildly Uninteresting podcast. Welcome back to the Wildly Uninteresting podcast.
Hello.
What? Episode number 136
Hey.
with the amazing,
Hey.
the very versatile, the
Hey.
very hardworking
Okay.
Vaughn Barnes.
What's up? What up?
Hello, Vaughn.
I feel like we could definitely.
Yo, I like that button, man. Look.
I hate it.
Adam hates it. It's my favorite thing on the table.
I hate
Just
that button.
slaps on it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I know, but
Express yourself.
we are very glad to have you on the show.
Sorry,
I
girl.
feel like the intro could be super long, but I would probably just allow you to introduce yourself and what you do and what you're a part of because
Tell us
you
a
know.
little bit about yourself.
That's what's up. Vaughn, everybody calls me Point. Owner, operator, Kentuckiana Backyard Farms. The name is what it was, you know. Like, I live in Kentuckiana. I'm in my backyard, and the goal is to grab as many other backyards as I can to do agriculture and farming with people in the area. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And I don't know if anybody knows this, but just to find you on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, it's just Kentuckiana BF.
Yeah,
And
Kentuckiana
that's it.
BF is on everything. Like,
Okay, perfect.
BF stands for, Backyard Farms, but it could be, best friend.
Best friends.
Yeah.
Kentuckiana best friends.
Kentuckiana
Yes.
best friends. The BF, naming BF, but what you just said was crazy.
That's the first thing that popped in.
Just for everybody. One more time, what'd you say?
Butt fucking.
Oh.
This is backyard
That's the
farms.
first thing
Yes.
that popped in.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
not
Not black farmer.
That's
not
what- yeah.
Not nothing. Just
when Stephanie was introducing us to your pages and what you do,
Right.
she said that she called it black. She thought it meant black farmers, and that
That's funny.
she had to learn differently that it was backyard farmers and what you do.
So
But
one of my customers at the time, and customer support or whatever you want to call them, BF, one of my BFs, they was telling somebody. They said, "Man, I want to tell somebody else about you." I was like, "Yeah, cool." And
Please do.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yes. So then what happened is they was like, "Well, they couldn't find you on Facebook," and I was like, "Would you tell them to search?" Like, isn't it Kentuckiana Black Farmer? And I just cracked a big grin. I was like, I'm gonna go with that one.
That would make a good shirt.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Hell
I'd
yeah.
wear the shit out of it.
that's
say-
what I was wondering if it's. Do you mind that at all? I think a lot of people that's the first thing that they go to. Unfortunately, even if it's not a race thing to them. I guess we're just conditioned to see that first. So
This
of
motherfucker
course.
wears black all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
He's got a robe. What's he
That
doing?
black robe.
I wish I was wearing a black robe. Please.
But I think it goes further than like backyard farming. Of course, you sell the eggs that you make. You help other people raise their chickens, and you teach, and you're an educator,
Right.
which is awesome because a lot of our guests lately have been educators, which is very beneficial. And I do like, which I think you're closer to the West End than we are, but I love that. I wish I could do something. I think I coached. I helped a
I
coach
can't
with
remember the name of the
Shawnee
team.
Eagles.
That's what it is, Shawnee.
And
Baseball?
unfortunately, football.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't able to give back. I think it's not that I don't want to, but I just don't know where I fit in currently. And I feel like it'll present itself. But I really love the fact that the guests that we've had give back to a place that we're from. And it's just amazing to me that you do that much and you educate.
All right, so we're just gonna make a slight correction. I do not make the eggs. I know Adam said I make
know.
the eggs. I don't make the
I was
eggs.
picturing that. I was like, how did you get the chickens to lay them with you? You're doing it wrong, man.
Get it together over here. But
a good
I do
image.
harvest the eggs from the chickens. Because of the law, I have 6 laying hens on my property. That's the law. Now,
Whether you have to have 6 or like you can only have 6 or what's the deal with that?
well,
I don't know shit about the laws.
No, I'm gonna tell you. So,
you.
like, per the size of your property, you're only allowed a certain amount. If you have up to like a half an acre or more, then you can have as many on your property as you can contain.
Damn.
That's
Well,
in
that's
Jefferson
cool.
County. In New Albany, certain parts of New Albany, you can have as many chickens as you can in your backyard.
Yeah.
So if you want to have
3,000.
3,000, yeah, but you're going to get calls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Like,
your neighbors are gonna get mad quick.
You say,
Yep.
well, calm down and buy some eggs.
well, no, you give them away.
Yeah?
You give them away. My goal was never to sell anybody eggs. It's like, I don't want to sell you eggs. Like, look, I mean, the Bible said, teach a man how to fish. You feel me? So it's not about, oh, yeah, let me try to make a profit. Like, no, if I taught you how to do this, then you wouldn't have to buy them from me. So that's
Yeah,
really where I
right.
was going with it.
So you just farm because you love it? You want to help people?
I mean, wouldn't you? Or do you not want to help people?
I want to
You
make
don't?
money. Fuck people.
Yeah, Ian
Oh, well,
hates
shit.
people. He doesn't want to
Hey,
help.
yo.
You're way better than I am.
That's what we went for, like electrical. The company will take phone calls or do FaceTimes with people for like simple stuff that they could probably fix on their own or they could figure it out.
Right.
I could help them, flip a breaker or something like that. And we don't charge for that service. So you're teaching them
Right.
how to take care of their stuff beforehand.
Right, but I'm going to charge for that. Like,
Yeah, that I guess that FaceTime, it does take
Yeah.
away your time because,
Right.
I mean, that's something that we're having an issue with now, and it's like value. How the hell do you say?
Valuable?
Yeah, valuing your time.
valuing.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know why I
Valuing your
couldn't say that. Valuing your time.
Got your tongue tied.
So that I feel like that would be a hard one, but in your case, not many people do what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right. I think with, as far as like, going into that, how you value your time, how you charge for your time is really dependent upon, the market that you're in, how people, respect what you do, and them seeing the value in you. And in order for them to see the value in you, like, you have to one see that you are valuable to the people that care,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So for example, when the whole pandemic started, I was giving away some of my stuff. Was giving it away, started building community online on the Nextdoor app. I don't know if you're familiar with Nextdoor, but started building community on there and just gathering people into a space where I talked about chickens. Like,
Yeah.
I already talked about them on Instagram. I talked about them on Facebook, and it's just like, it's a new app. Man, let's see what's up. I'll make a group that's specifically about chickens and eggs, and then I made one
I
that's
think
like
I'm a part of that
specific-
group.
That's right. You are. And then there was the Kentuckiana Backyard Farms. I made these 2 groups, which essentially do the exact same thing, but this one is open to everybody to do exactly what you want to talk about, whereas you can talk about whatever you want to in my group with Kentuckiana Backyard Farms, but I'm going to really talk more about me rather than
Right.
here's education for everybody.
Right.
And when I built the community between these 2 groups, that's what propelled everything that I'm doing now.
Got you.
So,
So you have to build that community first before you start valuing your time for profit
well, you start valuing your time for profit, period. But,
from the beginning.
right.
Okay.
But at the same time, what I did was try to give out as much information as I could. And it's not like anything's really proprietary unless it's like nuanced to my space.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Chickens
chickens need
aquaponics and stuff like that.
Well, yes and no. So, like,
okay.
for example, let's go in aquaponics. There's a guy in Arizona. Right now, he's up to about 5 million views on YouTube. His name's shout out to you, Chuck, Sandman. So, this dude has fish in his backyard in Arizona, and he's doing aquaponics with his fish. Now, again, Arizona, wait a minute. You got
Ooh.
fish in your backyard. Isn't it hot?
Right.
Shouldn't the water be evaporating? How are you still growing stuff? How is everything staying green? What's going on with all of that? Mind blown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how you got this cracking?
Absolutely.
I'm on YouTube and I'm talking to, him on YouTube, and it was just around the same time that I had to go to Arizona. I go to meet this dude, and I'm at his yard, and I see, he has pigs, chickens, the fish, all this stuff, just like me, but in Arizona.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, dude, this, first of all, it's amazing, but it's nuanced. Not everybody's gonna have those types of problems because we ain't in Arizona. It's cold here,
For sure.
The water's not gonna evaporate like it's gonna do over there. It's gonna freeze here.
Yeah.
So that's where the value of what you're doing comes into play. Like, what I'm doing in Kentuckiana is different from what's gonna happen somewhere else.
Right.
The climate's not gonna be the same. The laws aren't gonna be the same. Your neighbor ain't gonna be the damn same.
Right.
I'm lucky that I got a neighbor that at the time when I had roosters, he was happy I had roosters. He's like, man,
Shit, bro.
I love hearing the roosters in the morning. And I see the chicken scratching in the front. I'm like, are you sure?
That's not normal. Yeah. Usually people be mad at that.
Right.
Shut that damn thing up.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
They'd be like plotting against the rooster for
I've
sure.
had somebody do that though. I've actually
no
had my
shit.
rooster killed on Central.
Well, that's
No
fucked up.
shit.
So you bought 3 more.
Yeah.
They
yes.
really stick it to them.
Yeah, right. I'm like, fuck y'all. No.
You martyred the wrong creature, motherfucker.
That's so they killed your rooster.
Yeah.
And did you replace it at the time, or did you wait till you moved?
I never moved. Like, are you serious? I'm not
Oh,
moving
you-
nowhere.
Oh, okay. You said Central. I didn't know if you were located in that.
No.
area.
I'm like the house that has like the majority of the animals and everything is right by Churchill Downs.
Got you.
So
Man,
within
that's
that
crazy.
within that space, there's chickens, rabbits, goats, quail, duck.
Yeah. That's
So-
unlike a lot of places, man. That's, of course, people out here do that. And we've always wanted to, and the neighbors did it, and they asked us, they come over and asked us if we'd okay with it.
Yeah,
Right.
they
Of course
sure
we
did.
are, but like it's something we've always wanted to get into. But I mean, how much of your day, let's say this, how much of your day in your life is spent tending to the garden and the animals and the
It is
Grow.
it is really like it varies. So, case in point, I'm here with you guys now. I ain't spending time doing that shit.
Right.
I'm here. So everything's cool and copacetic. I might get a vibration on my phone from my neighbor saying, hey, look, one of your ghosts is in the backyard.
Yeah.
And that's when it's a problem.
Right.
But if you look at my regular routine, it's wake up in the morning. I try to catch the animals before they wake up, but animals, they're on like God's clock.
Yeah.
It's-
Seriously.
They get up and move and do what they're supposed to do regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those things where, it's like, shit, that's 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun's halfway up across the horizon. Damn, the birds is out already?
do you, as I say, do you, since you're working around the animals as much as you do, and
Right.
for as long as you have,
Right?
are you on God's time now, or do you
Yeah.
still use a alarm clock?
I don't need an alarm clock.
Yeah, that's what I figured, yeah.
I've never needed an alarm clock. I
You
like,
just-
go ahead.
Oh no, man. I'm just listening.
I never needed an alarm clock.
That's insane, man.
I think, and you know what? I just lied to you. I did need an alarm clock. When I was working for, other people and companies and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
really busting my ass, I would be like, I would get home at maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock some nights, don't go to bed until 2, wake up at like 7 or 6, depending on the circumstance, where I actually needed an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Now, where I'm doing a lot of this stuff for myself,
Yeah.
I can get up at 6, go out, make sure everybody's eating, they all got food, their water's straight, they're all where they need to be, nothing's really broken, everything's secure. Then I'm back in the house, I'm on the computer, I'm doing everything I need to do. So
Yeah.
I was thinking it would be nap time.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
this
saying.
it
I
sounds
go
like
back
you
to
need a
bed.
nap.
What the
Damn, dude.
I have like 5 alarms, and I sometimes sleep through all of them.
Yeah, unfortunate. But you
real.
own your. So this is an endeavor that you own, you operate.
Right.
You're the main person behind Kentuckiana Backyard Farms.
right.
So, I mean, I guess with that, like, you can't sleep. You got to manage the Facebooks and all that. It's like doing the quotes at night when we're done, you know?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's almost like a good and a bad thing where, you know, the average person would be like, man, damn, when do you sleep?
Yeah.
Well, like if you enjoy what you're doing, you're not worried about all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy what
yeah.
I'm doing. And then I do get to take my occasional naps. Like when I get everything done in the morning and I'm done with the gym and I'm done with whatever social life that I'm, you know, trying to keep up with, then yeah, I'm gonna take a nap or I'll rest or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Now, you
I ain't
said...
really worried about it like that for real.
I've always thought, because I'll be honest, like just with, I think I turned a job into, you know, just because I do it for myself, it's still a job, right?
Right.
So I've always just felt like that if you love something, then it doesn't become a job. I always thought that was like an unattainable goal. So in your case, you actually do truly love what you do.
It was a hobby for me for real in the beginning. A lot of people, you know, if you asked me about my life in Florida before I lived here, I mean, I had to do stuff like this when I was growing up. Like we had to, you know, go garden or pull weeds or like my parents' house was always like, oh yeah, go do something outside. Like we gotta do this. We gotta do that.
It's good to learn that early though, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the work ethic.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when I was growing up. I was like, oh no, we gotta
I don't want to do this.
plant this, grow that, harvest this for what? Like, why are we always drinking soup? Ugh. Like I don't want none of that. And then now, like as an adult or even having my own child, I'm just like, damn. I see my mom and my dad. I be wanting to give them high fives, like, motherfucker, y'all knew something. That's what's up, dad. Like, you knew I was gonna do this. You knew I was gonna need this. Thank you, man. Thank you. So I'm kind of happy because of it, for real.
Yeah, man. That's so with the people you teach, do any of those people help and come to your place and help you garden, help you take care of the animals, stuff like that? Or
Well, right now the thing that's happening is I'm working on this urban homesteading workshop with Jefferson County Extension Office and the Water and Soil Conservation. So these two organizations, people from the organization said, hey, why don't we just partner together, do this workshop, plan it out, and then just advertise to people. So those people that buy in, of course, we're going to give away, or well, not really give away, but we're going to sell them that information. Yeah. And again, it's not really proprietary stuff, but it's organized.
Right.
Like going to college. You go to college to have organized information.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you can go to, you know, Google University to figure shit out.
For real.
Like YouTube, you know, the college of YouTube could tell you whatever you want.
Yeah.
But to have it organized for you and step-by-step systematic things that you're doing, that's why you pay for a class.
Oh,
that's
for
why
sure.
you pay
Makes
for a
a
workshop.
huge
You know what I
difference.
mean?
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference to have it laid out in plain English for you. That way you can follow these steps that you've done, and they see what you do because you had it posted on Instagram and Facebook and next door. So if they want that,
Right.
especially in a confined space, which blows my mind, it still blows my mind as much as you do.
I mean, I think right now with the way that society is, you know, there's plenty. God bless you, goddammit. There's plenty butt fuckers out here that would love to be able to grow and have their own, but they just don't know where to start
Right.
or like
For
yeah.
sure.
how to be encouraged or who's gonna encourage them or like, man, what am I doing? Like my plant's growing like this. What's wrong?
Right.
I was like, well, you might want to just straighten it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants
Buy
to.
yourself a bamboo stick.
Yeah. You know, but see, that's also it. Like, if you've never done it before,
Right.
if you've never taken the chance, if you've never made the attempt, it's hard to say what will work or what won't work or if it's going to be good for you or whatever.
Right.
Is it going to hurt the plant or whatever? Like, because the idea of even tying a plant up seems kind of aggressive for a frail little plant. I mean, definitely.
Oh, you crippled kid can't straighten his back out. Let's tie him to the door.
Tie him to it.
Yo, that's that guy I listen to, Eric Thomas, is always like that. They talk about giving stuff away for free in the beginning, a massive amount of free information, free videos, free, just free, because you want to gain that audience, and then you can it'll come back to you tenfold. As much as you put out free, it'll come back. And that's what I've always felt that to be true, because we've done that. We've done free things before, and like you have, and look how far you've come,
man,
in that time.
I'll tell you like this: in 2020, right? 2020, what was you doing? May 2020.
I don't know.
You was probably covering your face, man. It was the pandemic. Come on now.
Oh, no,
right.
That was about a year and a half ago.
I rallied against that for the longest time.
So you was outside breathing in everyone's mouth.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care.
See,
Breathing in.
it's like just huffing on people.
Sometimes I'd stop them, but hey, man, can I ask you a question?
Bane over here. Ian Bane. I was born in the dark, like looking.
Freaking
I
out.
want to breathe in your mouth.
I'll give you the commonality. Probably freaking out, trying to find toilet paper, food, making sure you had enough food, enough toilet paper, enough water.
Right.
You had a lot of freaking out in the beginning. And that's going to,
Right.
It's understandable. But
Got you. So that was your May 2020. My May 2020 was, the holiday is Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day weekend. Normally I go home. That's when they do the Caribbean Festival. Nothing's happening. You can't go nowhere. Things are kind of locked down. I said, all right, you know what? I really wanted to do this whole farm thing. I really wanted to get into understanding my food and where my food came from. And again, this is May 2020.
yeah.
My backyard had grass. It was green. It was open. There was no fences. There was no sheds. There were no rabbits, no ducks, no quail, no goats.
Right.
All 4 animals that I attained from May 2020 happened in that moment. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to start. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm on Nextdoor. I talked to a lady. She's in Fern Creek. She has goats over there. And I seen her. I was like, hey, you got goats? This is cool. Something I could do with my daughter, because we're stuck in the house. We ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Can I bring her over there to see them? She was like, yeah, just, wear your mask, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know she was a nurse. Of course, she was hip to wear your mask, because she was in the hospital seeing her.
Right.
We go over, we see the goats, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this shit.
It looked good, didn't it? Yeah.
But I'm not going to have these big-ass goats like she got. She got big goats. They're not going to work in my space, but I'm still going to try. So shout out to Sheila. She, encouraged and helped me, see what was possible with it. I go online and I'm looking somewhere by French Lick. This guy's selling 3. There's a wether, there's a buck, and there's a doe. Of course, what is a wether, buck, and doe? A wether, let's go with buck. Do you know?
I assume a buck is a dude.
Buck is a dude.
Dude goat. Yeah.
Now a doe is
It's a broad.
okay.
Broad.
So you got your dude and your broad. Then what's the weather?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Is
that a tranny?
yeah. I was gonna say.
Hey, come on now, be careful.
Is it really?
Look, we ain't gonna mess up my episode. We're not gonna cancel my episode. Shoot.
Is that what it is?
A weather is actually a
Miniature.
no. It's a castrated male.
Oh.
Whoa.
Interesting that they have a different name for that.
Whoa.
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
Because, like, say, for instance, you want to start a herd, right?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, baby, I got you a doe and a wether. Have at it. You got you a male and a female, because that's what you wanted.
Oh.
But your male can't do what a male's supposed to do in order for your herd to start.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, in the process of owning them, I realized, like, well, damn, there's a big-ass difference.
Yeah.
This one that is a buck, as they started to grow older, you could tell the difference in the two. His beard started growing.
Yeah.
Horns got longer. His thing's swinging back there. And he's full of testosterone.
Yeah.
Then you got this weather. He ain't grown a facial hair yet.
It's crazy. The
Horns are only yay big.
Yeah.
And he's real fat and wide.
Oh, no shit.
Dude, it's
It's
some
more
scary.
estrogen, I guess.
It's scary to
big
think that that's what happened
Right.
just in those animals. Seeing that in the animals, I'm like, well, damn.
Yeah.
But something to think about. well, I get these animals and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, they got to be in the backyard. I got to have a fence around them. Maybe because they're not as big as the ones that I seen at Fern Creek, I don't have to have my fence high. I could bring it down. But then where am I going to get the fence from? I got a homeboy. He tears down fences. I don't feel like, you know, I'm not about to spend no money. Ain't nobody working. I ain't got a job. Like,
Right.
and I'm not going to take, you know, the little bit I do have to buy this stuff. But I did take I ain't gonna lie. I took my stimulus check and I bought animals. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes,
Like,
that's awesome.
Like everybody else was buying J's. I started the farm off the
Yes.
stimulus check. Like, because if I plant this seed right,
Yeah, but you're spending money to make money.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. I mean, but at the same time, what was it intended for? To stimulate the economy. That's what that was the true intent.
Yeah.
Now, I bought the animals, but my homie was knocking down fences. I got stuff from him, and then everything else was sweat equity. I just started
Awesome.
putting up the fences. Do we gotta keep rolling or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so start putting up the fences and like just figuring shit out. Like, man, this is a good place to have them. This is enough space. Hey Google, blankety blankety blah, and then Google spit back some information at me, and I'm, write down this information. I'm like, all right, cool. I could do them in the space. I had it all set up. Got the ones from French Lick. Whoa, sorry, I'm getting feedback. And then I went from getting the ones in French Lick to then driving down to Nashville. Picked up some in Nashville. Had a situation where one of them died.
Oh.
Dang.
Like
On the way back? Or?
in the same week. But the point I'm getting to with all of this is in the process of me just doing the shit. Nah, you cool, man. Do your motherfucking thing. In the process of me learning, and like the only way I was really like learning is by doing. I just started doing it.
Yeah.
Like where some people again are afraid to do
Dude,
it.
yeah,
I'm
that's
just
a-
doing it.
That's the biggest hurdle for a lot of people.
But and I tell you, it's a crazy hurdle because like, what do you do when one of them dies?
Yeah. Who do you call to come get it or to?
Bury
What
it.
you mean? Hell, I spent my money. I drained it out.
Oh yeah.
And got to being the butcher.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if there's a worry about did it die? I guess it didn't die from like a sickness.
No, it
Oh,
was
okay.
a situation where, like, again, this is one of those beginner mistakes.
Yeah.
Where you do something like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put a collar on a goat. Like put a collar on a goat when a goat has a horn that could just hang another one.
Yeah.
Ah,
For sure.
damn.
So like it happened, and and goats, they're so smart, but they're so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
they're curious. They do silly shit. Like, man, what the hell's on?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it moves. Oh, it fell over. Look, what else can we knock over? It
Oh,
just start-
everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like if I
cats.
brought the see cats, and that's why I said cats. They kind of have like their thing. Chickens have their things that's like cats. Goats have their things that's like cats, but like they're just bigger, so they do like crazier, and like they have the ability to cause real like damage
for
if
sure.
not under control. Like
That lady we did work for, she called us. She was getting cameras up because of her goats were just, they were wild, getting out. But one of them had ate itself to death. It just got into the feed and just engorged
It
itself
ate all of it.
until
I thought you meant like it was
died.
eating itself.
Oh,
It
no.
Started with its legs. By the
yeah,
time
right. I was about to
hungry.
say, man, you had to explain this to me. Goats don't even
Yes.
have top teeth. So
it got to its back and it was all over.
Yeah, she
But
had
yeah.
its feed like put up, and it managed to get
Knock it
into
over.
it and ate every single last bit that it had, and
It didn't
well, it
stop.
died.
Yeah.
Ow.
it probably was just bloated, and she didn't like air it out. Like, this is crazy. So there is a thing where goats have bloat, and they just start filling up with gas, and you have to take a needle like with like just to exhaust them.
Yeah.
In
Gotta
the
like
stomach?
aspirate them.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
And just stab them just to get the gas out.
yeah. I
Because
can
like
see
if
that.
not,
That's fucked
it'll
up.
kill them. which is probably a situation that happened.
Oh, yeah,
that's
for sure.
nuts.
That's I
aggressive.
also did work for a guy that he just had goats.
Right.
Unlike you, and he did it strictly for profit, dude. He was under in debt, up to his ears because he couldn't make the company work where he was trying to flip goats. And it was like, I think because he started off wanting the profit, wanting to turn into business, all this, he failed miserably. He did
Yeah.
it for the wrong reasons, I guess.
Look,
Well-
when you're gonna do something like flip goats, you gotta have the clientele before you ever buy goats.
I would
Facts.
think you would have to,
Who do you know that wants to buy a fucking goat? Very
Well,
few
I
people.
was thinking set up a YouTube channel and film yourself flipping. Yeah.
And taking them by the legs. Yeah, no, seriously, you can get myotonics and then like flip those. Myotonics are the ones that like freeze on you if you scare them real quick.
yeah.
So like they just
Yeah.
look like they just got frozen. Like they turn into that statue Mario.
Yes,
You know what I
hell
mean?
yeah.
dude.
It'd
So
be
they-
like playing flip cup, but with a goat. See if
Yeah,
you can flip
see-
it back on its feet.
Seriously. So what he probably ran into is that he just didn't realize what the market was. Because like
Yeah.
for in order to sell them, some people like them castrated. So like if you don't wait, to tell you more about weathers,
Yes.
Yeah.
you have to basically, and it's a really crazy process, but you put a rubber band around their nuts, and they just fall off.
If Pfizer say it ends up withering away and falling off.
Yeah, yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah. I know. Man.
No pun intended. Genuinely, I didn't mean that.
Oh,
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Yes.
that's rough,
We don't
man.
have
So
a
does
drum set.
does PETA hate that?
You say
I'm
does PETA
sure
hate
they
that?
have
Yeah, does
something to
PETA
say
hate
about that.
that? Like, are they like, what the
No,
fuck?
no,
you
no.
doing?
No, I'd say no. Look,
Oh.
they
What are you messing
kill
with me?
animals and shit all the time because
I
they
mean-
think it's better for them.
Right. I mean, that's also a part of like the animal control.
Yeah.
So, like, just to give context to the goats and goat population. On typical, they'll have two, right? The females go into cycle. What is it, like every 20 days? So like on some regular shit, like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
month. Mm-hmm. Like, wait, so you can have babies, like, or you
Back
get
to
pregnant
back.
anytime.
Yeah,
Man, so
Like a
crazy.
human.
yeah.
so, all right, I'll even say this. This past year, because 2021, I got mines in June of 2020, right? So June of 2020, that's the 6th month of the year. By February of 2020, I was already having babies.
Yeah. Damn, that's awesome. How
So-
long did
That's
they
quick.
gestate?
5 months.
Okay.
Great
Damn,
question.
that's
5 months.
That's quick.
Yeah,
So that's
it is quick.
that's twice a year.
Yeah,
You got 2 5-month periods that can happen in a 12-month period. So
it's like compound interest.
Yeah,
But with
right.
goats,
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
it's wild.
Do they have just one goat at a time, or can they have more?
on average 2, because you got 2 teats.
Okay.
So like
Damn.
the sack has 2 teats on there. It's probably gonna be one, then the other. Things that I've observed. So just off observation, there's no shout out to you, bro. Like
This
that.
motherfucker's gassy.
I know.
Somebody needs to aspirate him.
Yeah, seriously.
I can do that.
Oh God.
I don't
No,
wanna ruin your shirt.
Ian's definitely like he's like punchline Ian. So they have at least 2 every time whenever they kid. If you don't have a situation like me, I don't have a situation where I can separate my males and my females.
Oh, yep.
They're together all the time. And
Yeah.
if they're together all the time, the second she goes into her thing, he starts his thing.
Right.
They can do their thing, and you end up with more babies.
Yeah.
So, without realizing, my 3, I started off with 3. I went to Nashville, bought some, got rid of all of them after the one died, so there was 2 left.
Yep.
Those 2, sold them. The money that I got back from that, which was more money than I started off with them.
Oh, nice.
So I ended up with goat meat and 2 and profit
Yeah.
from the 2 because they were larger. Went and bought 3 down in Bowling Green, and then 1 in about Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
I know, right? Like, damn, dude, you driving everywhere.
I know,
for
just
this
driving
money.
all over.
Dude, I was trying to make this work.
Yeah, seriously.
You feel me? I'm trying to start this farm. Like I wanted it. I went in. So now at this point, I have 7. doing the math.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I said 3, 3, 1.
Yeah.
I got 7. By February of 2021, 7 turned to 10.
Damn.
God.
By June of 2021, 10 went up to 11. By November, which just passed, it went up to 13. But then, you know, I had, you get deaths and things like that.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot one. There was one that I had bought in Shepherdsville. And a thing that happens with them is like they get lonely and they get depressed.
Oh.
Like,
Damn.
now, like for me, first timer, I'm like, so the goat's gonna get lonely? Word? Yeah, you gotta have at least 2.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they gonna get lonely. Like, you just trying to sell a goat, bro. Like,
Right, seriously.
Like,
yes.
like you just trying to sell it. Like, don't just tell me you just want me to buy an extra one to get it off you. Don't tell me some shit like, oh, they get lonely. They
Your
get
salt
depressed.
shaker is sad without the pepper shaker.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't have peanut butter and no jelly. You gotta have both.
That's right.
But I'm gonna tell you, the one that I got in Shepherdsville, man, when I got it, like it just could not click with the herd. Like it wouldn't work. No matter what you did with I forgot his name.
Dennis.
Nah, I started with a B.
Dennis.
Brian the goat.
Brian the goat.
No. Dang, I forgot his name. That's terrible.
Billy. Butt fuck. Butt fuck the goat.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I forgot his name. And it like it matters, but it doesn't matter because he didn't even last that long. Like he literally stressed himself out. He was screaming and screamed to fucking death one day. Like
That's wild to me, man. I didn't know it gets that crazy in their life.
well,
I didn't know that they can get depressed.
Yeah.
well, like I said, they're curious. So like, in order to be a curious animal, you gotta want to go inspect and see what the hell's going on. This, one wakes up one day and is not where he expected to be. He's in my backyard with a
Right.
whole new set of goats that's looking at him like he's the outsider.
Right.
So he would be in the corner, he's screaming all the time. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this one? Like, like did y'all
makes
sell
me
me a
sad.
sick goat? Like, because you only wanted to sell this particular one. Why were you only selling this one? You got like 40.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the person had 40. So,
Maybe it was cursed.
Cursed
dude,
goat.
listen, and that's kind of what I thought at the time. So he really started hyperventilating one day, and it just was like snot coming out his nose, like just like shaking and stuff.
Wow.
I was like, all right, well, you know what? That's the end of this story. No, and seriously, the end of this story. And had to dispose of them. But after that, I was like, yeah, no more individuals.
No.
I was lucky with the individual one that I got from Indiana, or the individual female. I forgot. I never mentioned Brownie. I got Brownie too from somebody in J-Town. They had this little. She's so tiny, but like he was like, yeah, da 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 da. She's cool, but she's just a little loud, and I get her, and I'm bringing Brownie back home. Brownie the whole ride, nothing. No sounds, no nothing. She gets in the
enjoying the
backyard,
ride.
get in the backyard, chilling out. She goes in the backyard. She inspects everything. She looks both ways when she walks in. I mean, no, seriously, God is my witness. She walks into the backyard, into the fenced area, goes like this, looks, turns her head like some X shit over her back, looks at me, and she goes,
Yes.
she runs further back into the yard. The other goats come out. They see her and they're like, "Hey,
Yes.
you knew." She looks back at me and she's just like,
That's awesome.
Then the boys showed up.
Yeah.
And the boys, they're like, "Oh, what's the girl around here, man? Freshen up."
Fix my
Yeah.
beard.
And now freshening up for a goat is they spray.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're more attractive to the female.
Yeah, but that spray does not smell good.
No. Fuck no. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
That's
I can imagine.
I was
Goats
reading
heat it up.
I was
Yes.
I read an article about
that goat.
why lawns started being a thing, why we had lawn care, why we were so putting sod on our grass and stuff like that. And a lot of it had to do with people wanting to show their wealth and the fact that they didn't have to use their land to farm on and stuff like that. Because back in the day, everybody had a farm on their land. And now I think we're progressing where the lawn actually was not beneficial to the environment. Now more people are starting to farm on their land. So it's kind of like a full circle. They're realizing that they messed up when they just used the lawn for look.
That's probably one of the stupidest things I've ever seen people do, like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
putting sod down and shit.
You grow grass to cut it.
Yeah.
As it still grows, and then you cut it again. You only want grass that's always constantly growing to be a particular height.
Yeah.
So you pay somebody like myself that does lawn care.
Yeah.
You pay somebody to keep your grass at a certain height, edged, just like your hair.
Yeah.
Because you want people to drive by and look at
house
your
hair.
grass like,
And you know that
your grass mine. Oh, shit. And then drive off.
it's a signifier
it's
of
ridiculous.
money and wealth and status. And that's crazy that a lawn was that, but just like a big house and just like a nice car, that the lawn was that. And you get, they pay a substantial amount every year to get that taken care of, which is baffling. Instead of buying their own stuff or taking care of it themselves. But I think now a lot of people are moving to like moss covered yards so that they never have to cut it. And then you have a lot of people that are turning their stuff into a farm, gardens, having chickens and goats and stuff like that. So it's getting better, but I think it's crazy the full circle of it. And I think that we'll go back to the land, once everything gets to a point where we can't grow and we can't whatever. We'll go back to the land to ask for help. You know what I mean?
I mean, you mentioned that, and I think like the one good thing about grass, honestly, is like if you have rabbits, which I have rabbits, the rabbits eat the grass.
Yeah.
The chickens scratch in the grass. The ducks pick out bugs from the grass.
Yeah.
Quail do exactly the same, and it all provides nitrogen for. Hold on, I just got feedback. My fault. I think it might be a text message, but the all of those animals basically provide nitrogen to the soil to make the cycle go for the garden.
That's why I was asking if you used like
ecosystem.
rabbit poop or chicken poop and stuff, because I know that in farming a lot of people like to use the excrement to grow with, because it's a rich source of nitrogen.
Yep.
But I think that's the coolest part about having a farm, is that it's all self-sustaining. So it all takes care of itself. Once you have all the pieces in place, you can grow, take care of the animals, and you see that cycle of life happen within the animals.
I think it's one of those things that's necessary. You know what I mean? Like you have to, if you want to be in charge of where your food comes from and what you're doing, you have to know it's a cycle.
Right.
Like, just like the seasons, there's 4 seasons, you know. You got to understand, like, in the spring, be advantageous. That is the time to do the most that you can fucking do, because it goes from spring to summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you got to protect everything, and in the fall, you reap the benefits of it. Because in the winter,
Yeah, there's nothing.
you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the childhood fable? The grasshopper and the ant and the grasshopper.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Look, you know that shit? I don't know that shit.
It's like the ant works and the grasshopper dies because it didn't.
Oh,
Exactly.
damn.
Just relying on the ant. To
Apparently,
provide.
mom and dad didn't love me as much as they do you.
Yo, it's crazy, but I mean, you're right
Ain't
that we
teaching
don't
me
know where
shit.
our food comes from. We're relying on a system that really, there is food to be given, but they can't distribute it for some reason. If you're the grower, distributor, and everything, you know where it's coming from, and it's a lot healthier. Let's face it.
Well, let me. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's just I think
Always something.
yeah, but that's
They're listening to us. We're about to drop
definitely
the
listening.
game.
They're
Yeah.
absolutely listening.
What
Yeah.
if it's the aliens, though?
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
I'll
guys,
listen.
come
What's up,
join us.
aliens?
I'll let them do that. But that's, I think, is the most beneficial thing. And man, it's getting wilder and wilder because there's stuff not on the shelves again,
Man.
But, you know, they're not out of like lettuce and tomatoes and stuff like. They're out of like Nabisco and Juicies.
Let me tell you, they
No,
are out of lettuce.
Nabisco.
They are.
really?
They are. So last night I posted this on my Instagram story, and you can see it on Instagram, Facebook story, and I might look back into it to keep it on my wall. But I was listening to Reuters news outlet where in Washington D.C. this guy's like, yeah, man, you know, I'm going to the store, ain't got no lettuce, ain't got no salads. Now, bravo. You want to get a damn salad. You're not looking for some bullshit. You want some good food. You want something nutritional. But you can't find it.
Right.
Why? Wait a minute. You don't have a backyard to grow. All right, cool. Where is it actually coming from? California? Wait, so you're waiting for food, because Washington's on the East Coast by 95. You're waiting for food from I-5 on the West Coast to get all the way to you, because somewhere in the middle, even North Carolina, South Carolina, hell, Maryland,
Right.
y'all ain't growing your own stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and
A lot of people don't.
we
No.
actually just got a call from Kroger that a bunch of the lettuce we had
Oh,
bought
yeah.
had been possibly had a what's it called?
Listeria?
Yeah. So that we
Yeah.
couldn't even eat it. We had to throw it out.
Bro, it was crazy.
I mean, I'm sure that could happen like to anybody. I don't know how listeria.
But it happens often enough, like
Still
that they
fucking
don't
garbage.
catch.
Yeah.
I feel like they were lucky enough to catch that, but oftentimes they don't catch it.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff in your food that you don't know about because it's so mass produced and quickly grown, I guess.
For the society of people that aren't growing their own food, ain't no telling what is happening with your stuff.
Right.
Because you're not the one doing it. You don't know. Now, if you are the one doing it, and you do get to see what's going on in the process, sometimes it doesn't look as good as what you think it should because of it sitting on the shelf in the store. We get conditioned to think like, oh,
Yeah.
your leafy greens are supposed to be a bright color,
Perfect.
but not realizing like the bright colors because of the nitrogen.
Right.
And there's not supposed to be holes in there because if the bugs are on it, then there's no pesticide. But wait, the stuff that we see doesn't have holes.
Right.
So is there pesticide on that?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
There's things that because like we're not thinking about it, we're just, man, I need these cookies.
Right.
I want this tea. I want like you don't think about where it's all coming from to know that's what it should look like, giving the circumstances of the things that make it look like you see it in the store.
We
Yeah,
see it as a
that's why.
product and not what it is.
Right.
Right. I went to
Absolutely.
what year was it? I went to St. Croix. A friend of mine's, they had family in St. Croix. We flew to St. Croix together and went out to this farm. The guy that owns the farm has, sheep. I mean, God, this dude had land and over 400 sheep. Like
Damn.
it was beautiful. I mean, and like we're on this hill, there's sheep everywhere. There's green. Some of it, not so lush, whatever. But then you can see the ocean. The pigs are over here. Gardens over here. And I'm like, do y'all eat like this all the time?
This is magical.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
Like in the morning, like when I got there, I'm the house guest. I was like, hey, look, so check this out. In the mornings, because I'm not gonna be here, I'll be down at the barn or whatever. The chickens are over there. That's where you get your breakfast. We'll have some stuff in the fridge or whatever that you can mix with your whatever. If you want to pick tomatoes, onions, or things like that to make an omelet or something, go right ahead and do it. Same thing happened to me in Jamaica, but like we can stick to St. Croix before I talk Jamaica. And every morning it was just like fresh,
Yeah.
and I'm talking like
Yeah.
it
Right
just
out of
tastes
there.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, just you was able to pick your like. It sounds crazy to say, like, man, I was picking all that stuff just to make my omelet.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
I picked everything that went into the omelet.
It was
It was
healthier. You
fire.
knew where it was.
Yes, yes. And I feel like that's what it should be like.
Yep.
I loved whenever I'd be getting dinner ready and I walk outside and pick the Brussels sprouts off the plant and come in.
Oh, yeah. We
and
got
prepare 'em.
greens and broccoli.
We had
and
lettuce. We had
We had a lot, but like I said, we did it in pots this year because we were trying to get our bearings and figure out like
just see what it was like.
And because I'm gonna grow in all like cocoa core and just perlite and do liquid nutrients. Unfortunately, I know that you kind of lose a little bit of the nutrition in that, but just do it that way for now, and then just grow, to an organic soil or something. But it's beautiful to go out and pick your own stuff.
It's awesome.
The more you are, I guess, connected to it, I mean, the better. Like, you don't want Ian to touch your shit. But
He's not allowed to touch anything when he comes in.
yeah, right. See his hands in his pockets.
Don't even look at the stuff.
But it's definitely a lot better whenever you're connected to it.
Right.
And to go into the other story that I was touching on in about Jamaica. It was like 2012, 2013. My dad's brother passed away. I know, sad story. I didn't know this guy. I would always get every time I went home to Florida, my dad would be on the phone with his brother. He's like, "Yo, talk to your uncle," and I'm just like, "This motherfucker ain't never been to one birthday party. I don't know him."
Yeah. What do you want me to talk to him about?
Correct.
Right.
But I'm glad that I actually did this. Crazy scenario. We go to Jamaica after, finds out he dies and stuff. We were supposed to go that summer. He didn't make it to summer. So we end up going in like early spring. It was like around March or so that we went. We go out there and like, I'm meeting family that I've never seen before in my life. Never seen these people, only in pictures. And we go to the property. We have, out there, we got acres of land.
Right.
They're growing stuff. They got animals, and we trade with the neighbors, just like it was for me in St. Croix. You trade with the neighbors to get the stuff that you need for breakfast that, we don't grow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool.
You got the chicken man, the egg man.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Like
Or woman.
sharecropping?
Yeah.
Is that what they call sharecropping?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Probably, but I don't know. Because every time I've ever heard of sharecropping in, American history, it had something to do with slavery, and motherfuckers ain't get what they were supposed to. So
That's why I just never understood what that sharecropping meant. So I was
got a
just
bad
attaching it to
history.
something.
yeah, I mean, like
I've
even
heard that too, though, which is
if it was just like the word says it is, share crops. Like if it was, hey, I grew corn while you grew tomatoes, and we just shared, with each other. Whenever I killed a hog on my farm, everybody got meat.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Like I
sounds
heard,
great.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually heard that on the radio like yesterday. Some guy was making a song, and he was like, "Yeah, man, back in the day where I lived on my farm, every time somebody killed a hog, we all got to eat." So it sounded real cool.
Is that in a verse or in an intro?
No, that was him doing an interview, but
okay.
he was talking about it, and
kind of song
it just made right. What kind of song is
what
it?
it is.
Yeah, right. If that was, it'd be a crazy intro.
Yeah.
Man, don't no motherfuckers want to share.
I guess in that sense, and I'm not going there, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But do you think teaching the Black community how to do that puts the power back in the Black community's hands and out of the stores that sell it at a high price and stuff like that? Do you think it's beneficial for society to do that?
Absolutely.
To teach them every part of self-sustaining.
Absolutely.
Knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, exercise knowledge is power. People will say like, "Oh, knowledge is power." No, it ain't. Because I know plenty shit that I don't do shit about.
Yeah.
So it ain't powerful to me. But
That's
if
true.
you do something about it, that's when
Yeah,
it's
man.
powerful. So, like I was saying, we get out there, we're trading, we're doing all this stuff. Food's healthy, food's good. It doesn't look like it's store bought. Like it still has dirt on it. Like
Right.
there's
Yeah.
stuff. This stuff that still had dirt, still had bugs, still had everything. You would have to go wash it,
off. Yeah.
cook it up, cut it up.
That bug will add crunch. Leave it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll add protein too, but real life true story. We do this and we're trading with these people. And remember, I'm there for a funeral now.
Yeah.
So the night before the burial, we have this big party at the house. And it seemed like the whole city plus other parishes around walked up this hill, walked to this house. Maybe it was the band. I don't know. But that night they jammed from like, sundown in March goes down around right about like say 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. From 6 at night to damn near 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Damn.
I mean, but like you gotta think, this is Jamaica now.
Right.
You got in the air, you got rum going,
Beautiful music too.
music, vibes,
Yeah,
singing, and that night. I mean, the day before, we slaughtered the animal. They made soup. The soup that they cooked fed like, I felt like we was like Jesus, man. We felt it was so many people that ate that night. So many people that showed up. It was at least 150, 200 people.
Fuck, man, I was thinking 30.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No. It was
Yeah,
like
the
it was
whole
ridiculous.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But all these people showed up in celebration of my uncle.
Yeah. Damn, that's cool.
And again, this is me just absorbing it all. What we did, how we traded, what the food we grew, how he, communicated with the community and everything that he built. I was like, damn, that motherfucker was cold. Because, it speaks volumes of who shows up to your funeral.
Yeah.
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
sure.
it's
When you got people showing up to your funeral like, hey man, your uncle's a good man. My cousin's high as a kite. He ain't want to be at, that's his dad.
Yeah.
His dad died.
damn.
And he didn't even stay inside the church. And it was like standing room only in the church.
Yeah.
You couldn't and it wasn't some like little ass church where it's like, oh, third world country, you only got four pews or whatever in the dirt floors.
It's like a
It wasn't nothing like that.
cathedral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a good church, it was a nice sized church. Everybody that was
Standing
there
out.
that night
Yeah.
was at the service plus more.
Yeah.
Cars packed up on the grass and down the road, and
That's wild.
it was ridiculous. Ridiculous how many people was there. Like, and had it been COVID, everybody would have died. I mean,
yeah.
No shit.
because there was so many people there, it was like packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, damn, like, you was in agriculture and you got this many people to come to your funeral. What kind of good were you doing? And like,
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
there was something that stirred up in me at that moment while I was there. I was like, all right, man, when I get back, I gotta do something like this here.
Yeah.
Where, me and my neighbors were sharing with each other and I'm giving to them and we're trading, we're making stuff happen. And this is before Kentuckiana Backyard Farms started.
Oh, really? I was wondering. That's what sparked it, I guess.
That was one of the pieces.
Yep.
That was one of like cornerstones in the idea. Because again, it was everybody's yard that fed everybody in the community. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let me give you some money for this. It was like, nah, what you got over there?
Yeah,
Give me some of
that
that.
wasn't-
I give you some of this. We got breakfast in the morning. You straight.
Right.
And it was never about like, oh, I'm just making money. Like if you had enough, then that's it.
Yeah,
Like that's
share.
all you really got. And then just like you said, share with people.
My fault.
you
It
good.
just reminded me of like prison when we would eat together. When everybody would throw in, it was crazy that we would throw in one little piece, and then it would build this huge meal that would fill a table, right? So anybody who were indigent, shit like that, would come and get a
Right.
plate or something. But it reminded me. I told her that it's baffling when people get in that kind of situation and struggle together what they can accomplish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not necessarily tying like society struggle to make it the thing. I think it's more of people understanding like, yo, let's just work together.
Together.
Like, I'm not trying to come up off of you, Ian, but I'm not trying to come up off of you, Adam or Sarah. Like,
Right.
don't try to come up off of me. But if we all come up,
Yeah.
then we can do something,
Yeah.
We all can have like the tide should rise all the ships, not just mines.
Right.
And I seen that in the community out there, and I was like, all right, I gotta bring that here. Like,
No shit.
one of the things that happened out there that I thought was crazy was the fact that the house didn't have running water.
Oh, really?
Right. And like, coming from America where, we got running water. We ain't even thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, we don't think about that. Like,
Just leave it running while you brush your teeth. Fuck this water.
Right.
hey, look. Yeah, right. But to go into a situation where it was just like, hey, so where we take our showers at?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got two options. When it rains, or you can go to the well, draw your water from the well, and then bring it into the house.
Yeah.
But because you're a guest, bring it in the house or whatever. Like, but mostly the females shower in the house. The males shower when it rains.
Damn it, yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what? Nah, while I'm here, I'll stand out there dick swinging and take a shower.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It's nice though that they hold their women higher to a higher standard as far as
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
them in the
yeah.
house and stuff.
Yeah.
I've always felt like that they stand with us, not behind us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah, and again, culturally, like that was what still in the 2000s. That's what they did, and you wouldn't think like, oh man, you guys are bad off. Like, you're
You don't
good.
have running water. You guys don't have shit. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
for somebody like if you grew up doing that and you don't know different, just like, this is normal, like whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you just fortunate and you don't realize you fortunate. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot to be thankful for, but you walking around there with your head so high, you don't
yeah.
even realize you should be thankful. Like fucking, we in here with a podcast with electricity all over the place
Right.
and lights on for fucking just decorations. Like,
But yeah.
come on, bro.
No, I
Yeah.
know.
You gotta be like really thinking about that to say like, damn, like wow, we really are fortunate as
Yeah.
people here. And we don't know. We don't see the other people going through what they're going through to realize like,
Yeah, it's not
Man,
the
this
cool
a-
shit that we have. It's like, what don't we have that we can complain about?
yeah, right.
Right.
It's a blessing sometimes, man. Just thinking about it is really a blessing. But I seen that, I brought it here, and that's part of what got me started. I had a friend. We was like, yeah, man, we're gonna start working out and eating healthy, and let's get chickens. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get chickens. Like this is the how to. It got started. So like, if y'all wanted to figure out how you was gonna do it back here, this is kind of how my shit happened.
Transition time.
Thank you.
Yeah, this part of the show is brought to you by Kentuckiana Backyard Farms, where
no shit.
Backyard Farms.
you don't have to buy eggs from me if I teach you how to raise your own chickens. So we get these chickens now, and I'm looking online, I'm looking for like, some kind of like education or something, and I see on Craigslist, and this one, Craigslist was popping for something like that. They had a class at some feed store off of, fuck it, I'm not gonna give them a shout out. I don't even remember. It's somewhere in Middletown, but you go to Middletown.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you guys know you are. Thank you very much for having me over there. And we go there, and they're like, yeah, you gotta, if you want to do this, you gotta buy at least 6 chickens. I'm like, 6 chickens?
Damn.
How much I had 6 chickens at my house? Maybe like 2,
To
3.
start off with. Damn.
But that's a law out here. Law, you have to buy at least 6. So you all know that's a law.
That's crazy.
And you can have other thing that's law. You can have 6 chickens or 5 and a rooster. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm going in with somebody, so it's gonna go 3 and 3 anyway. No big deal. I get the chickens, and then my homie's like, man, my landlord ain't gonna let me have them. So to get to your point of food security, how some people, because miraculously he had a white landlord,
Yes.
he can't have chickens on the property.
Miraculously.
Yeah.
Why can't you have chickens in you can have cats, it's gonna fuck some shit up.
Right.
You can have dogs, that's gonna fuck some more shit up.
Yeah.
But you can't have chickens that if you put them in a fence with the house back there confined, they will actually produce something that could go into your house and help you.
Yeah.
Dog shit, cat shit, and
Take
scratch.
up room.
Chickens do the same thing, but they actually provide something back to you for feeding them.
Yeah, we can't have that.
How wild is that? That's crazy that they
Yeah, but he was in the West. And, you know, somebody that didn't live in the West that owned the house wouldn't let him have chickens at the house.
It's so wild, dude.
So
just get the chickens, and when the landlord shows up, be like, I don't know where they came from. Those aren't mine.
They're not.
well, see,
They just flew in.
Yeah, they just
right.
got here.
the chickens don't even fly. That'd been funny. Like they flew, and I swear to God, they flew. So he says, you know, you just keep the chickens at your house or whatever. I'm like, yeah, cool. You know, shit, I'm my landlord. I'll do it. And I get the chickens. I'm hype. You know, I'm learning how to keep these things, and it's like, oh, cute little bird. You're so tiny. They're like this big, and I'm feeding them, learning that, you know, they got to have heat lamps on them. If they don't got heat lamps, they'll huddle up, and if it's too hot, they'll run away from the heat. So like learning how to keep the light just right for them to be able to eat, drink, and poop all at the same time. Because if it's not hot enough and they're not eating right, they can get constipated. They won't poop and they'll die. Like that's a real thing too.
Damn.
And all this stuff.
I know. I was damn near dead.
That's what I read that you posted it somewhere that they don't need the heat lamp
When they get older.
Yeah, and I thought that was wild, but I mean I understand it. But it gets like freezing outside, and then you talked about having the water inside of the room that catches the rain, and you store the water inside that it doesn't freeze. Usually, if it's moving during the day.
Yeah. If to get to that, if you have water inside of a facility, whatever your facility is, as long as it's moving, as long as it has something like just to keep it from like hardening over,
Yeah.
you straight. The ones that I have outside, the bad thing about it is part of it's in, part of it's out. So it's damn near like it's out.
Yeah.
So that one can freeze. So like if you ever seen like any of my posts where I'm going outside and I'm kicking the water,
Yeah.
or I'm taking like the chunks out of the top, I'll kick it to where it cracks, take the chunks out. Now all that running water underneath is good to go. So they could at least have water, you know, from, 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning until it freezes over again.
I would hate for
Water
something
source
that
is open again.
Yeah.
Come and get it.
lick the ice. That's why I would hate for something that I did, I guess, in the beginning to kill an animal. Because I hate when animals get hit by cars out here,
Right.
And it happens often, deers and stuff. So it would bother me and it's going to happen. Eventually, it will happen.
Right.
That would bother me. That under my watch, an animal died.
That's one of those
neglect.
things. What did you say?
Oh no, I said of neglect. My fault.
He was like, me?
No.
Oh, no, I just always look like I'm going to say something.
My lips didn't even move, man. What are you talking about? Like, I can't see your lips through the pop screen, bro.
His face is always talking, but his mouth never says anything.
Yeah, where eyebrows and shit, eyelashes flickering, moving around. But, yeah, that happens, man. Let me tell you, when I started with rabbits, gosh, dude, you could sneeze on a rabbit and it'll die.
Really?
I mean, not really, but
No,
you
no,
know.
it's
No,
pretty
I know.
easy.
It's also,
Had you been stuffing
it's a funny
bullets
way
in
to
your
say
nose?
Just, achoo, boom,
Oh, the pieces.
goner.
That was
Like,
crazy. I thought they were pretty like resilient.
Yeah, they
Well-
seem like they just last forever.
man, in somebody's house where there's air conditioning, but they're walking around with fur.
Yeah.
Right.
Let it hit 90 degrees, that rabbit's gonna be sprawled out,
Yeah.
hyperventilating, waiting for water.
Especially in this muggy ass shit.
Yeah.
Up here.
It's counterintuitive. Somebody's like, oh, it's so cold. Why you got your rabbits outside? Have you not watched any movies to realize like the rabbits burrow, they go underground, they come out at the nighttime, like roughly in the evening.
Right.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Roy, have you never looked at one?
Just-
It's fine. I mean, can you not see?
Like it's bouncing around, it's happy. Like
Yeah.
it's the heat that they don't like.
Little
Yeah.
ears going.
So like, as much as I hate it when animals die, like every time you guys mention one dying, in my head I just think, oh, sandwich time.
Yeah.
Now, see,
It
now,
happens.
like, say for instance that, do you want to eat the ones that die without you, dispatching them? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the
I'm
that's
not
the
a farmer.
equivalent. Of
I'm an
eating,
idiot.
well, I'll tell you, that's the equivalent of eating roadkill. Like, why would you want to eat something that you didn't do?
Right.
Because then it's
Absolutely.
like, well, then how did it happen?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
unless
was
you're doing
thinking
like
earlier.
an autopsy first.
Yeah, I was thinking like, can't you just get in
Right.
the meat and see like the bad parts, or is it not always apparent?
So exactly. One of the things that you want to do, because like I think about dispatching first before like just, dang, you dead back there. Oh, your body went through rigor mortis. When I pick you up, you're this hard.
Right.
Now let's cut you up and make you into a sandwich.
I didn't think about that.
So
They stiffen up just like everything else.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Crunchy steak.
Yeah, you gotta
I've
get
had a chick.
God. I'm already not a big fan of meat, but that doesn't help anything.
I remember there was one time I went and I picked a chicken up that, that didn't do well by itself and it, passed away. And I pick it up and I mean, like, it literally was like this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had that happen with a guinea pig once.
Oh, God.
Oh, Frankenstein.
Yeah, that bummed me the fuck out.
I mean, you guys did grow up together. So, like,
yeah.
I was like, how do you know Frankenstein?
Oh, we go way back.
Yeah, for some reason, like, you know all his stories. Like, what the hell? How do you guys relate so much? Adam, bro, like, check her out. Something's not right here.
Something's definitely
She
off.
knows too much about this, too.
We I guess when Damon was on, we're just silly and
Yeah.
laughing and chuckling like two little girls, and he was like looking at us and he said, "Your siblings." I was like, "Yep, it's what we are."
That's funny. So he didn't know either.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean,
we're just very close.
I'm hip to it, but still, like, there's times where, like, Frankenstein,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't relate to me. Like, how? Isn't this about our podcast together? Like,
Yes.
oh, you guys, yeah, Frankenstein, whatever. So, yeah, they go through rigor mortis just like anything else. They stiffen up. Whenever you're dispatching an animal, you do want to check organs and stuff, like to make sure there wasn't like anything wrong in the liver. Like, why are there spots in the liver? It just didn't filter it right. Whatever.
I'm not
It
a
just-
liver man anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's going through the bloodstream. Going through the bloodstream goes to the body. So like,
it's everywhere.
you want to know, like, I mean, and I learned this fact from shout out to Sarah. So me and Sarah were talking about Sarah. I know it's like random. Who's Sarah?
Yeah.
But me and Sarah were talking about a thing that we might do with animal remains, and she's like, have you ever noticed that like if you feed your animal an animal that you dispatch, that like something that you're throwing away, when animals eat the dead, they start from the head, the neck, they move over into limbs, but they don't really mess with the intestines. Because that's where all the germs and
All the
everything's
nasty shit.
How are they smart enough
Yeah.
to know that?
Man, they're smarter than I am.
Yeah.
at. No,
I would-
we also do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Have
When's
you
the
ever
last
field
time you
tressed
ate
a
an
deer?
I was thinking I would
intestine?
just dive
Oh,
into the
a deer?
guts.
It's
Yeah.
been a while.
But when you field dress a deer, pop,
Yeah,
you get it. After it falls out, you split it,
and then
drain it.
right.
Everything on the inside goes out. Then you take the deer where you want it, because
Right.
you're not gonna eat the intestines. I mean,
yeah.
deer chillings, like
I'll pass.
You're not
Yeah.
supposed to like cut the stomach or nick the bladder so that none of that stuff gets
Right.
on the
right. So just like us, just like them, we don't
smart
eat the
enough to know.
intestines, and we don't, like, I mean, some people do with certain animals, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you're not eating the.
Delicacy in the Carolinas.
Right. Yeah. Can't say I've ever eaten the intestine of any animal.
You know, you were saying though, doing something with it. I wonder if anybody, I know like fish guts and chicken guts. A buddy of mine used to put it in a, what is that called? Compost pile.
I was about to say compost bin, but
Yeah.
maybe that. But
And
other
let
than
it
that,
break, and let it break down so that they could use it to plant their garden and stuff
God,
like that.
imagine that smell.
Oh, it was terrible.
Sitting there
It was terrible.
decomposing, basically.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah,
It'd
the
be
fish
so
and
gross.
stuff, all the bones, the fish, the chicken and stuff, they were letting it break down.
I'm talking about the smell.
Oh, the smell was bad. It was
Yeah.
terrible because
Oh,
it was
wow.
in the sun breaking down. Ugh.
I would
terrible.
think. Well, see, what probably needed to happen was they needed to have more carbon. Whenever you add carbon to your compost piles,
Yeah.
mostly you got your nitrogen. Fish gonna bring nitrogen or whatever. You add the carbon. That's like you ever seen like fertilizer? Those
Yeah.
3 digits on the bag,
Yeah.
the nitrogen, phosphorus,
Oh, yeah.
and carbon. Those little compounds, or whatever. You just need to add more carbon to it,
Oh.
because then what normally happens is you get the little white stuff across the top.
Yeah.
That white stuff is mycelium,
Oh,
like
yeah.
fungus,
Definitely.
and the fungus. Shout out to it. Every time it's a dap, bro.
Hell yeah.
Got the
I
button.
love it.
Every time it's a dap.
You don't deserve it.
So what does the mycelium
Sorry, you do.
gain or take away from it?
Mycelium is like, or fungus is like the keeper of life, for real.
Yeah.
If you don't have that to break stuff down, to then restart, you like it's hard for me to even think. Like you got mushrooms on everything.
Yeah. They break down everything organic.
Yeah, they break it down. Hell, it would even control the smell. That's I forgot what is it called. Age no. Dang. And I'm not quick with Google, but I think it's called, like, I was just Corona. Breathing for you guys. But
No, that's
it's Asian, it's like Hawaiian farming technique or Korean technique or something like that, where you mix basically a bunch of organic mushroom matter type deal together, and it breaks stuff down. It keeps better, or it makes the smell of breaking down the bacteria go away and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really like
Yeah.
it's a
very
technique.
beneficial.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I
never
know
knew
that they were. I read that they were cultivating certain species to one break down oil, and then the other one to break down plastics
Yeah.
without using oxygen, which was crazy. You know what I mean? Without the need of.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's dope. That's wild. That's
But
wild. That's
It
wild.
is fucking cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a part of everything. That we watched an entire episode thing on TV about the fungus and how much of the earth is covered by it, and
Yeah.
how much fucking relies on it. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, like even the rainforest and all that kind of stuff, like it's necessary.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to nerd out on shit like that, but like,
Look at him, he's a nerd.
yeah, word, one of the coolest out, straight up.
yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
It's just necessary. That's just necessary, man. Like, you might not think like, oh yeah, like, why do we need mushrooms? The same way that you want to trip on them, they're necessary, bro.
Yeah.
It's good for your mind. Like, it's good for your gut. Like, you gotta have good bacteria, bad bacteria. You need that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But
I asked this before we started, but tell me about the quail. I've never known anyone to have quail. I just need to know about them.
Dr. Sex Woods is a quail man.
Of course he is.
I mean, he was for a while, but I think he
I
killed them
swear,
all.
I was thinking we should have had him on also.
Sex Woods?
Yeah, well, his name is Seth, but we call him Dr. Sex Woods.
Yeah, 'cause he writes like shit, and his TH looks like X's.
oh, I thought it was like a Mike Tyson thing where like you can't say Seth.
Basically, yes, except
Sex
in writing.
Woods, like,
Yeah. But he is, God love him, Seth, I like you, but
Dr. Woods.
he's just, he always has like all the information, but it's just slightly wrong. Always.
Yeah.
Just a little off every time.
Uh-huh.
He could easily get you a B
Yeah.
on paper.
Yeah, for sure. Look, the first time we ever had him on, my parents, or our parents, I guess.
They're not mine now.
I knew he wasn't a part of you, man. I told you watch out for that dude, man. So what's up with him?
Yes. But they couldn't believe how smart he was and how he knew about everything. I said, he was wrong. He's wrong about everything, dude. They had no idea. They're like, well, he's so convincing. I was like, well, he might be right about some stuff. But
Yeah. 90% there, like,
He has his moments, but he's confident as fuck.
He is very confident.
word, facts,
Yeah.
facts. But about
But
quail.
yes, quail.
So
Ow.
they I mean, per the size of the animal, per the size of the bird, like, you got this miniature, not even miniature, like, because there's miniature birds called bantams. Mm-hmm. You have full-size chickens that about, like, they take up this much space. A bantam will take up this much space. A quail will take up, like, that much space,
Yeah.
right? You could, grab these little quail. You could, sit them down. They don't take up as much room as a chicken would. However, like, I've been told, you either want to keep quail in containers that are yay high, like maybe like a little bit above their head or way above their head. And I was like, well, why? Why do you do that? Because they fly up and then they trail back down. They fly up and they trail back down. If it's right in the middle, they'll get enough speed to where they can get up, bang their heads, and then they will kill themselves.
Damn, that's crazy.
So you don't want to have the room high enough for them to, get enough momentum and take themselves out. So it has to be way out.
Quail.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Looking ass, right.
Flew a little too high to the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah. So as far as like their eggs, nutrient dense, for the size of the egg, you get, and I just looked this up on Google, so now I'm going to sound like your boy, Seth.
Just tell us that
You're
you
in
may
good
or may not be
company.
correct.
I may or may not be correct, but you get more nutrients out of the quail egg than you do out of the chicken egg. The only thing that the chicken egg will have more than the quail egg is just one of these things, but you could just Google the shit.
Cholesterol. I don't know.
He's not here to
Vitamin
tell us
A.
everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just more nutrient dense.
Yeah.
So that, and then also like, if they get to a nice size, you could just cook them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's easier to manage or dispatch a bunch of quail than it is, chickens. Like with chickens, you gotta soak them in the hot water and then pluck the feathers and blanch them like that. Whereas like with quail, you can just peel the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cook that bitch.
You can just peel them. Like quail can just be
That's
peeled,
nuts.
which is like, pop the top off, take a air gun, blow everything out,
Yeah.
peel it.
Whoa.
I don't know what's weirder, blanching a chicken or popping the top off a quail. It's
like
both very
it's like
weird.
they're bananas.
Yeah.
Nah, you definitely quail is definitely more difficult as far as like, you don't normally see people doing that. I mean, you don't normally see people doing chickens, but you see more chicken than you do quail.
Right.
So
I don't think I've ever seen a quail in real life.
really, wow.
I know a bunch of people that go quail hunting, but not, I've never been with them.
Yeah, and then like with quail, they're so little, you just gotta buckshot them. Shot them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butt shot them.
Shot
Get
'em.
that butt shot.
I was thinking like electric kind of buckshot, It's like electrocute him with it.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't take much, does it? I guess.
Yeah, right. No, not for Ian. No, not at all. Jesus. But that's the deal with quail. I mean, part of the reason why I even got quail was what kept happening was like, dude, you're doing this in your backyard, man. You're crazy. And every time somebody say, "Oh, you're crazy," I'm like, "Oh, I'm crazy. Word."
Watch this.
Facts. It was like I'm coming with another thing, like fish, bees, and bugs, either like worms or like beetles. Those are like the things that are coming next. And it's just basically finding a location within the backyard or where I could stack them somewhere to have that next part of the ecosystem. Why are beetles important? Well, beetles could actually deal with the dead.
Yeah.
So here, the beetles could be here and do that. The worms could do that. And they add to the soil. All the animals defecate. They go everywhere. It's just like now containing that, letting it bake somewhere, and then now good compost. And if you pile it up right, the chickens and the ducks will scratch through it and they'll eat through that. So a lot of this stuff, like you had mentioned earlier, is self-sustaining. It all works in a cycle. The rabbits could, be a part of it. The only ones that's really kind of not in but in are the goats.
No, really?
Because the goats don't eat
They
meat.
just, How weird.
They don't eat meat. They don't eat grass. Everybody think, oh, your goats eat grass. Grass don't. They don't eat
Always
grass.
did too.
That's
What
a
do
bullshit
I guess you
myth.
feed them grain or something.
Right.
Well, okay. So this is a pro tip. This is a pro tip, and for people that want to do the urban goat thing, and that's gonna lead me to start talking about the urban homesteading class. I, in the fall, get the bags of leaves. Now that Christmas has passed, the trees that Jefferson County is not picking up, I'm getting trees.
Oh, yeah.
And anything that's like yard waste is perfect for them.
Right.
Because that's all the things that they would need to eat to survive, because they have 4 stomachs, you know, so they eat enough. And it's like they are like the trash compactors for nature.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So when you don't have, you know, acreage, when you don't have a forest behind your house, when you don't have, you know, land to do that, you could then, you know, get all that stuff and like put with it. So
Yeah, man.
that's kind of how I've been able to, like, you know, maintain and not run into debt like your homie. Like,
Yeah.
How you end up with goats but then can't keep them, you know, like, the hell?
And
Yeah.
you mentioned acreage. I wanted to ask you earlier, like, do you have like an approximation for
2,400 square feet. I measured it out
what?
at my house.
Wait, no.
Oh, go ahead.
Like, it's like if you had like an ideal setup to like self-sustain like your existence on land, like what would be the optimal amount of acres that you would have?
Man, for myself right now, and not having to go to Kroger,
Yeah.
I would want anywhere between 3 to 10. On 3 to 10 acres, I mean, you got enough woods to where you could bring in wildlife. You got enough space to where you could, you know, have your own pond, water.
Yeah.
And everything else could grow within that, you know, atmosphere. Like, you know, like the animals could, you know, tract one area, tract another area, move them around in that space. If you have water going, it's gonna rain, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna refill. You got water right there. You could put, you know, fish in your pond and then fish your fish out if you need to. So like all of that I think would be great. 3 to 10 acres, that's, you know, enough. I actually, now that you say that, I need to find out wherever time we are in this.
Oh, yeah.
To write this shit down to then go back and give you real numbers.
Yeah.
But I know 3 to 10 is like, you know, necessary to do something just for yourself.
Yeah.
There's people that, you know, go to market with, you know, 1/8 of an acre, a 16th of an 1/8 or a quarter of an acre, and you can just, you know, farm that with produce alone and be straight. Like,
Damn.
just be straight.
Oh, I know. That's what I was saying. It's crazy how much you do with the land that you have. And I imagine when you do bump up to 3 to 10, I mean, imagine what you would do personally with 3 to 10 would be just unimaginable. I would believe.
Well, the goal for Kentuckiana Backyard Farms, and this is like what I'm projecting for, you know, quote me here, in 3 to 5 years, if I don't move, if I don't die, I'm gonna have a facility in, you know, the area.
Yeah.
Either somebody's gonna donate me land, which, you know, it sounds crazy, but like,
Oh, no.
I'm believing now, like, somebody's gonna either donate the space to me, or I'm gonna work it out to where I have the space, to where I could bring people to host the classes, to have the weddings, to do the goat yoga, to supply, you know, Louisville community grocery if that ever comes off the ground, like things like that. Like, it's gonna be there for that.
Yeah.
And I believe that it'll happen. Like, but based on your question, I want to have the numbers to say, like, all right, I need that much space for this. Let's say Jefferson County's not going to pick up Christmas trees again. Well, that part of the facility is going to have that. The animals that take care of that are these animals right here. And each one of these animals coexist in this ecosystem that you now can take your family out to, just like Black Acres. Have you ever been to Black Acres in Jefferson County?
Mm-mm.
No.
So they were donated that land long time ago. And they have sheep, they have goats out there, trails, a waterfall, all sorts of just dope ass shit. And it's like, well, damn, like, what plantation was this back in the day that is now like a monument? Like, it's something out here. I want to have something like that, but like where people can honestly just always come, and it's not a situation where it's just like, you know, I hate to say it like this, like, it ain't just been from slavery. It was like some shit where, you know, people actually are going out, they're learning, they're seeing stuff, and they could then take it to the house and just say like, all right, cool, I'm gonna put up, you know, a 5-gallon bucket garden, and just start, using little 5-gallon buckets and gardening
That's what-
with
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
That's
It's
where
ne- I
we
think it's
started.
necessary.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
And that's what people have to see people do those things, especially by yourself. You're an independent person that's done it all by yourself. So people have to see that that's possible and then learn from you. I think you showing them from that. And trust me, with all the good you do and all the operations that you have, I guarantee you somebody would donate it or eventually,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
something to work at. Without a doubt, the world's good.
I believe that, you know, like in all of us, I mean, because if we were all fucked up, we all be killing each other. So like, I don't think that everybody's crazy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Especially now, you know, we're starting to like, I mean, what was that quote said back in the day? The revolution will be televised. It's now. Like everybody has a camera. We're all on social
Right.
media.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't straightening up, you better straighten up because everybody's watching you now, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like you feel me? Like,
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
even with the, you know, and it's crazy we gonna make this a part of the conversation. I never would have thought like the police would have said, "Oh, the people that killed Ahmaud Arbery were going to jail." Like, yeah, right. Like,
Oh, I know.
never in my life would I have imagined that shit. Like,
Yeah, I was like, what? Hell
I know.
yeah.
like what they're getting convicted.
How terrible is it though
It's
that
about time.
when that shit happens, we're like, what? Like
Yeah.
we're
I mean,
shocked by it.
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's society. Like we still haven't seen nothing happen with Breonna Taylor's situation,
Right.
and that's here. So, you know, slowly but surely, little pieces of things like that are happening in this era. That, you know, maybe my kid or my kid's kid will be like, "Damn, motherfuckers are getting killed by the police."
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's not like it's mind blowing to them. Whereas, like for me, you know, I grew up where you ran from the police for no reason. Like
Right.
even if it was just like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
"Oh shit, what are you here for?" Like
For real.
real talk. Like why would you run from the police for nothing? Like that's the mindset. It's like, yeah, it's coming from the mindset of a motherfucker that ain't never been fucked with the police.
For real.
Right.
Like you had to been fucked with by the police to know
understand.
like that motherfucker ain't good. He's dangerous.
Right.
I remember when I first moved here or when I first got to Kentucky, 2007, I was dropping my dog off, you know, rest in peace, Coco. I was dropping him off to a dog sitter in Indiana. And I'm getting ready to go do a job because I was doing travel videography. I'm dropping him off in Indiana, and I get back on the highway. I'm in New Albany. I get back on the highway, and some unmarked car comes behind me. Police officer in the car. I got like at that time I still drove a truck. I always drove a truck, but my truck at that time had Florida license plate because I had no intention of living out here as long as I have.
Yeah.
And this guy pulls me over, and he gets out the car, gun drawn, and
Fuck.
yo, dude, for real, I'm sitting here like this with my window down. I always do this when I get pulled over, and I know this is some shit that, you know, inside the mind of a white person, like, why the hell would you do that? Because you ain't black, motherfucker. Like, I pull over. I take the keys out the ignition. I put it on my finger, and I mean, like,
Yeah.
like I do this. I put it on my finger, and I hang it out the window, signifying a few things. I ain't going nowhere, motherfucker,
Yeah.
and I ain't got shit to hide. You know, like
I'm complying. Calm the fuck down.
yeah, word.
Beyond compliance.
And he
Put your
has his
fucking
gun.
gun away,
He
dude.
has his gun drawn. Get your hand back in the vehicle.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Well, all right. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Keys dangling off my finger. Hands is on the steering wheel. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what's the problem? It's not no, do you know why I'm pulling you over? It's not none of that protocol shit.
Right.
And this is in broad day fucking light. Broad daylight. And he's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Just
Okay.
'cause of license plate.
It's not like my license plate says Mexico.
Man, I thought I was in America. Like,
Yeah, dude.
maybe I'm not supposed to be here. What are you doing in Indiana? Dropping my dog off before spring break. Mm-hmm. Where's your dog at?
Dropped him off.
At that point, I'm sitting here like, all right, this is about to go wrong. Let me just chill out. Get out the car. Where's your license and registration? Man, it's in my pocket, but I don't want to touch nothing. So I'm gonna open this door and I'm gonna get out. I get out the car. He puts the gun to the back of my neck, lays me down on the highway. I'm on 265, right by Grant Line Road. And I'm laying down on the highway with my hands on the concrete, gun to the back of my neck. He was like, "What's in your truck?" I mean, nothing. Gas. Like, like at this point, I'm like, bro, like, what is all this about? I was like, oh, what, you got Florida Place and your truck is here. What are you doing? Like, no
nothing. Yeah.
No explanation, no nothing.
That alone, he assumed you're doing something with
Yeah,
drugs.
I'm up to some shit.
Yeah.
You're right. But again, you know, if you haven't gone through
Right.
if you haven't gone through shit like this, that's not what you're gonna think about when you see a police officer. So he's trying to check my car. I'm like, man, you can check my car, I don't care. But like for real, all this ain't necessary. Like
Right. Seriously.
for this ain't even a routine traffic stop. Like, what do you pull me over for? No reason, nothing. And you know, I get no ticket. I get no nothing.
No apology either.
Apology.
Yeah, it's
I didn't even think about what an apology was.
You're lucky I didn't pistol whip you.
yeah.
No, I was damn close to it. But
No shit. That's the people that it doesn't affect, like you were saying. Like me and Sarah at one point didn't believe that. Well, more me, I guess, just didn't realize that racism was as prevalent as it is.
Right.
Still, because we're in
Right.
this. And it just didn't dawn on me. And then all this information comes out, and then other stories from the past come out, and it's all. I mean, it's
Right.
as prevalent as it is. And now we get to see it on TV, and it's in our homes, and everybody has to face the reality of it.
Yeah.
And it's some hard shit to talk about.
Well, shit, it ain't hard to talk
Yeah, I was
about.
like, it's
I'll
pretty
talk
easy
about it
to
all
talk
day. But you know, it's whether or not somebody's gonna sit there and believe you. And they're like, yeah, right, bro. Like nobody's gonna sit there. Why would somebody just pull a gun out on you, bro? Like, I don't know. The same reason why your boy couldn't just jog and he got shot just
Yeah,
from
no
jogging.
shit.
Like and then how cool is this? Had the dude that was with him not recorded it
Yeah.
and have it,
Yeah.
nobody would believe that was the situation.
Right.
I know.
So like now, and I encourage people to, you know, sometimes you might listen to a motherfucker and be like, man, that's a bullshit story, bro. Like, no, I can tell you very vividly. I was in my Dodge. I pulled over right by where the overpass is when you get off of the highway, and dude pulled me over and all that stuff. And like, you know, people go through that, and I think like, damn, no wonder people don't have land for agriculture. They probably got killed on their land and it got stolen. And man, just take his name off that deed. Put my name right there. I need all this. I don't even need it. I just want it all.
Yeah.
How about that?
I just don't want him to have it.
You can't just have it.
Right.
You know?
And like you said earlier about the people like out in Prospect and the East End, and they'll buy homes down in Portland. They're not connected to the community at all.
Not at all.
And I've worked for them, and they set up these rules and this obligation to pay and
Policies.
There's no like give or take. There's none of that. They're like, if you don't pay, they'll throw their shit like out in the street and stuff. But they're not from the community, and I don't think that's fair, because I think that you should allow your community to build it back up, or give them an opportunity.
One of the cool things that's happening now in society, and I think this is really cool, is that, again, it's being publicized. Sadly, the people that are victimized or that are the victims of the shit that's getting publicized, are like, black and brown people, but it's now starting to not just be black and brown people. It's starting to be everybody. Yeah. And then, we're all starting to see like there are just really some like fucked up motherfuckers out here. Like people are just like, dude, something's wrong with you. Like, I don't say that you got to share with everybody. I don't say that you got to let motherfuckers in your home or all this shit. Like, cause whatever, like you might be a little off put, but there has to be a level of decency inside you to just be like, all right, we might not see eye to eye on some shit, but you just like me because we breathe the same air. So let me at least be cool. And I realized that in the pandemic, that's again, when everything took off for me, it wasn't like, oh, I ain't talking to that neighbor. I knew that the dude across the street never came outside. He just sat on his porch. Yeah. He might cut his grass from, 5 o'clock in the afternoon to 7, edge his shit up, and then go back and sit on his porch. Old dude. Like, and this is real life, my neighbor. I didn't meet him until the pandemic happened.
Really?
Because at this point, he's really, really stuck inside.
Yeah.
And when he's really stuck inside, it's like, hey, bro, do you need somebody to go to Kroger for you? Because I don't want you to die inside your house.
Yeah.
Shit.
For real.
I'll pull up at Kroger, just write me a list, whatever. I'll go get it. Or when I'm going out, I'll just do something and just like my neighbor across the street, Sean, he's cool with stuff like that. The guy next door to me, Beck, he's straight with my animals and everything like that. When everything happened, I was making waffles for people in the neighborhood. It's crazy, but it's breakfast, man. Like scrambled egg and waffles. Like, what's up? Like, that's what I'm eating.
Yeah.
I don't know if you eating, but do you want some? I had trays, like those silver trays. I would press a waffle, put like apples and cinnamon and all that kind of crazy stuff, and just press it, walk across the street. Hey, man, try this, man. Take this. Here, eat.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people out there like that, though. I hope there's more, once they see that everybody's good.
I think there are people out there like that. It's just now you're starting to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Before, like I said, you don't really see all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and
Too busy working and
all
running.
this stuff isn't newsworthy, so of course you don't see it. You see all the bad shit, all the
correct.
Yeah. So I mean, that shit happens all the time. I can't tell you how frequently nice stuff like that will happen, or I see it, or it happens to me directly. Like people are good. You just see all the bad.
Right. Oh.
Because nobody's sharing the good stuff on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're
It's not
definitely
share
not.
worthy. Yeah.
They
it's not gonna
can't
get
sit
the
there and talk
attention.
shit.
Fuck this good news.
I hate that. I don't want to cut anything off or whatever, but we're like an hour and 41 minutes. Did you want to end it here? Did you want to?
Oh, damn.
Going? Yeah, we've been rolling.
Yeah.
Hang on, wait, before we wrap up, I've been wanting to know. Have you ever thought about getting into like genetics and stuff and creating a chicken goat?
Chicken goat.
Because I think that would be awesome.
Hell yeah. Ooh, can you breed a chicken and a quail together?
A chicken and a quail or a chicken goat?
Yeah, preferably the chicken goat.
Yeah.
Chicken goat. Well,
Hold on, man. I purposely just went live on IG right now because I was like, damn, how long have we been going? I wasn't keeping time. But for the sake of going live and then talking about, the tail end of what we were talking about, you guys got to watch Wildly Uninteresting podcast. Go follow them on IG or check them out on YouTube. We're doing an episode 136. It's Kentuckiana Backyard Farms.
Are you going to announce the chicken goat?
That's Ian.
Hey, man.
Ian, Adam, and Sarah, pretty cool people, man. Check them out. But the chicken goat and genetics, I don't think that's happening. Yeah, I'm not a geneticist.
What about chicken quail?
That's almost like saying, like, well, you know what?
Call it a quicken.
I can't catch any of them.
A quicken. A quicken.
I'm saying, man, I'm brilliant. No one knows it.
A quicken sounds dope.
Everyone's enamored with Ian. I'm the real
quicken.
motherfucker.
Hey, shout out to Sarah. That's Sarah right there.
What's up?
But a quicken sounds like a really good animal for sure.
Yeah, that would be badass.
And Sarah came up with that. I didn't come up with that. A quail and a chicken.
I'm going to go down in history as the original quicken maker.
Hey, somebody patent that.
Done.
Yeah, done. There's things that they're doing now that are crazy because they made that tobacco tomato that was from The Simpsons. The guy actually breeded tobacco tomato that crossbreed, and and they made that from the show.
Dude,
they were like,
Hell, you see what they did with the wine in California with all those fires?
oh no.
So the vineyards that were getting caught on fire, they basically made vodka out of those grapes.
Oh, wow.
So instead of just making wine, they turned around and they made vodka. So it was like smoke-flavored vodka.
Oh, my God. Where can we get that shit?
Man, listen, I listen to Google every morning whenever I'm at my house. So, hey, what's up, everybody? This was the thing I was talking about, like I had a surprise. I'm doing this podcast, but the episode, like I said, is going to come out. I don't know when it's going to come out. It's coming out on Tuesday. Whatever. But I'm listening, or y'all are listening to the behind the scenes of the Wildly Uninteresting podcast with Sarah,
Hi,
Ian, and Adam. Yeah,
Bunch
and
of
we're
dorks.
just
Cool.
nah, man. Y'all are
Talking to
definitely
people.
interesting, and we're
That's
having some
what-
good questions.
I told him we're going to put the "un" in parentheses so that it's, it's up for interpretation.
Whatever.
Yeah,
You're
word.
a fantastic guest.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I like listening to you and having you around.
I think it's good too, man, to bring that knowledge to a platform and then spread that knowledge. And like you said, you try to do the most you can for free. And I know you said before on Instagram, like you are giving away to a certain level that you want to, give the world away. I mean, extreme amount.
Like I said, my real intentions with chickens from the very beginning is not necessarily selling the chicken eggs. It was like I'd rather show you how to do it because I came from not doing none of this shit neither. You
Yeah.
know, 2020, I had chickens in my backyard because of the stuff that happened with my uncle.
Yep.
But I didn't have the goats, the rabbits, the quail, and the ducks. You gotta watch the whole episode to understand that. But I didn't have all that stuff, and to get into it, learn how to do it, make it happen. It all started, just in that moment, and I think anybody can do it. It's not like I came from agriculture. I didn't know that we had that much in my life, but it just happened for me, and then it is what it is.
It's making that. I think you're going to help people make that first step. It's the hardest to make on any endeavor, man. Is
Factual.
that first step. So I
But-
think you can help.
Urban homesteading workshop. January till April, and then after that, Kentuckiana Backyard Farms is gonna have its own workshop that I'll be doing. I can't say with all the people that I'm gonna do that one with, but there are some well-known faces in Louisville and Louisville.
I say Louisville. It's not King Lua.
But there's gonna be some
It might
faces
be.
in Louisville that people want to see that are gonna be doing this with me. So
Nice. Man.
I'm excited for it, and that's pretty much it, man. This is a good episode. Thank y'all so
Oh
much.
yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
And we greatly appreciate your time. I know it takes a lot, and I value time to a crazy extent, man. So we greatly appreciate that, and I know that we, tell your kids that we appreciate it, and your wife.
Kid.
Go, just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Singular.
Well,
Thought you had goats.
One
we-
child.
We like to
But Ian thought he had goats.
we like to extend
Bree, Bowser, and Black.
Hell yeah.
They're
Those
asking
kids.
about you.
Yeah.
They're asking about you. Yeah,
No,
for
but
sure.
we do extend that, man, to the family, to the farm that you run, to everything. I mean, it's valuable time, and we appreciate you spending the last 2 hours with us.
Facts.
But no, greatly appreciate it. That was a beautiful episode with Von Barnes and the Kentucky Backyard Farming. This is episode 136. Thank you so much for being here.
My heart
like,
grew
comment,
3
share.
sides.
Kentuckiana Backyard Farms with Wildly
Backyard
Uninteresting
Farms.
podcast.
Wildly uninteresting podcast.
Kentucky at a backyard farm.